Good day and welcome to Cerveza Brothers Part Dos. Round two.
Round two.
Variety of topics. Gonna hit on it. But there's always been an interesting trend with you, Dean. MMA. You like MMA. You're not a fucking junkie yet, but you enjoy it. But you particularly like women fights.
Yeah.
You like to see girls go. As a gay man, you like to see women punch each other.
It's twofold. Number one, the fight that got me to love the UFC was
Great question.
Chris Cyborg. Yep. Like that, I will always remember because I was at a bar. Like it was one of those. This is why it's so fun to watch sports at a bar, because there was just tons of fucking international people I didn't fucking know. But when Amanda Nunes started beating the shit out of Cyborg, everybody who thought Cyborg
so
was
unexpected. So did I.
So unexpected. And everybody was just like, oh. It was blood drunk. We were blood drunk. It was amazing. And the other thing is, I think that women have something to prove. Like, if you're a fucking mixed martial artist, like a professional martial artist woman, you're a tough bitch. Like, you are not. God help you.
You had some brothers growing up. You got your ass kicked. Yes.
Yeah. Like you cannot imagine how tough these women must fucking be. Like, these women fucking, oh my God. Just whenever they fight, they bring it. They fucking bring it, man.
Well,
like,
not all of them.
I always love it.
There is a handful that bring it. Yes. That was a great point you made about the fight that brought you into MMA. I never fought. I was much more of an instigator. That's my nature.
Actually,
I don't want to fight.
You've been into it so long. Did you have one of those? Did you have a fight?
Yes. I was thinking about it when you said that. It was Vanderlei Silva versus Quentin Rampage Jackson, the first one.
Axe Murderer.
Well, Quentin's challenging him for the title. And the Axe Murderer is juiced up on fucking every fucking, steroid known to man.
Does not test for steroids.
It is a war. They are punching this, and there's one point where they're on the ground, and the rep, they're getting too close to the edge. The rep's like, you have to recenter, and they both just start crawling like dogs to the center of the ring. They're both just crawling, and the crowd goes, yeah. It's like two animals fighting, and he finishes Rampage with a knee to the face, and he goes through the ropes unconscious. It's just brutal,
dude.
Brutal.
Both of those fighters had just. Wanderlei in particular had something just like animalistic. There was something not quite human in it.
No, you're right. But Vanderlei doesn't get the recognition as he should, because he was just up on roids. But truly, the most feared man in the world for years. But you take away the roids, he's mediocre, which is scary.
Yeah.
You can be that much better than everybody on that shit, and you just take it away.
My solution: put everybody on roids.
That's why Pride was great. We're not going to test you. You just shove whatever you want up there.
What was so great is it wasn't just implied; it was in the contract saying like, we will not test you under any circumstances. That's a beautiful thing the Japanese understood. Or maybe it was the Yakuza. I don't know who was running that shit.
Great shit. But a couple of things I want to talk about. So Henry Cejudo was overlooked for the title fight at 145. Max Holloway gets hurt against Volkanovski. They're looking for a replacement. They pick Korean Zombie, who's a solid choice. The guy can fight. He
delivers. Yeah.
He's got like a 10% chance of an upset, maybe 5. I don't know, but he can do it. He's solid. And he had to serve the military for 2 years in South Korea.
Yeah,
he had to quit his career. I admire that. He came back. He's still at the top. Give him the shot. But Cejudo got shot down. Dana White was like, that's not how it works. Like, you can't just come back after years off and get this title shot. I was like, huh. And it's about split on the responses. I've been reading, like, some people are like, oh, you gave GSP a title fight against Michael Bisping after being retired for years. Why can't you give it to Cejudo? But I'm like, GSP was kind of iconic. Everybody liked him. Nobody likes Cejudo. Like, everybody tolerates him. Everybody wants him to lose.
He's Henry the bitch hoe. That's what he is, man. Like that kid is fucking
the hoe bag.
The hoe bag. The hoe bag. I forgot about the hoe bag. But there's something about him that's just, I dislike him.
Yeah.
I dislike him. He's too ugly. He thinks he's got he gives short people a bad name, man. Like he's like everything that every stereotype people associate with short, angry Mexican people, he is, like ugly, thinks he's greater than he is, hanging out with John Jones, like what are you fucking doing, man?
I was bored. I was bored this week. I watched a 30-minute interview with him, and he was wearing a crown to begin the interview. He's wearing a crown. But he comes across pretty grounded and intelligent. It's interesting. It's like, why are you wearing the crown? He's like, I love this facade. I love that people want me to lose. I get being infatuated with the identity that you've created, but you're so unlikable. And the reason you didn't get that title shot is because you're so fucking, you did it to yourself.
If you're going to have an identity, why not have the Kobe Covington identity? That's fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that Cejudo, he's not appealing to anybody. At least like Covington, he's talking shit. He's got this ridiculous persona. It's good. It's fun. It's interesting. He's not interesting. I don't think he's interesting.
You just nailed it. He's not interesting. He's a smart guy. He's a grounded guy when he wants to be, but the personality you created sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks, man. You did it. If you did it right, you would be fighting for that 145 title right now.
You should start saying that to your clients, Chase. Just your personality sucks.
Your personality sucks. It fucking sucks. Yeah.
Sucks.
All right. So that next topic. We always want to do a stint on Chael Sonnen. Chael's an interesting person in our head. Never was champ, doesn't phase him at all, has a aspiring, growing YouTube channel because he talks like he knows how it is, but it truly is a coin flip. 50% of the time, I'm like, yeah, Chael, you're right. And 50%, I'm like, Chael, what the fuck are you talking? Like, you're just kind of dumb. Like,
what did he say this week, Chase?
Well, he said Derek Lewis and Stipe needs to happen. That's the fight to make. I'm like, no, that's not the fight to make at all.
Why do you want to hurt Derek Lewis, man? Stop it.
We know the outcome of that fight. Stipe takes him down. And why would anybody want to see that? Look, you got the title fight. John Jones fights Stipe. As simple as that. Yeah. Derek Lewis ain't good enough but he talked for 10 minutes rambling on. This is the fight that makes sense. This is what it's almost like his picks. Because 80% of the time he picks the wrong pick.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's what I feel like. I bet you.
I bet somebody's got a record. I'm curious. I'm curious what his record is.
What is Chael's fucking? It's fucking horrible.
Do you know what I would love to do? Do you remember ESPN back in the day with like Pardon the Interruption and Around the Horn and all that shit?
Sure.
I wonder what's the record of those guys? They're always making calls every day.
They kept it. They kept it.
Who? I want to know.
They had it at the end of every show for the season, like so and so's in the league. Yeah, they did.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah.
I'd be curious. I wonder who's making the calls, man. That's something I'm curious about.
Yeah, because they would make fun of them if they're really low. Like, oh, this guy again.
As it should be. As it should be. Yes. Oh man,
well, we should have a chart of Chael Sonnen prediction chart. We should keep it in the corner. Yeah,
we should have a Chase Conrad prediction chart too, so you're not going to keep fucking up, Chase.
Cerveza Boyz prediction chart. Yes.
What is your out of curiosity? Give yourself your what's your probability? Huh? What's your hit miss?
It's I would say.
Is it over 50%?
Yes.
It's over 50%.
Not by much, but yes.
Okay.
Chael's is not. Yes.
All right.
Most of the time, I can gauge it. Yes.
It's tough because when you're calling a fight, right? Like, okay, what do you look for? Because to me, it's impossible because anything can happen in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, look at Amanda Nunes, right? She fucking lost. No, do you remember those odds? It was like 1,000 to 1.
Yes. You take a team sport I'm going to bet on or a one-on-one, team's safer because you can compensate. Your best player can have an off day and somebody else could save his ass just because they're more talented.
And yet you choose to bet on UFC fights.
It's more exciting. It's more exciting, man. Yeah, it's just we need to run a gambling agency. That's what.
But seriously, what are you looking for? Like, you watch the previous fights and you're like, yeah, this guy's good, or are you looking for something mental? Like, what are you looking for?
Odds.
Just odds, just math, that sort of thing.
You know, you look at the odds, you see what the percentage. If you know the fighter before, great, but it's really the odds. And I am shocked.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how good those odds are. They're so
Mm.
good. And I guess it's just math. I mean, I guess it truly is just the math. Who's betting on what? Where's the money going? I don't know.
I guess so. But then there are those moments where the unexpected thing happens, you know? And like I really want to believe that. Like I wonder if anybody called that Nunes fight. Did anybody call it? You know?
Me.
Yeah, shut up, Jason.
I did too. That was a predictable fight. I'm not saying I would have bet on it, but it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me.
I always like to think that there's something like he sensed something like intuition, you know? Like, I always wondered about like the betting dudes, you know, like the really legendary guys, you know, were they just math geniuses, or was there ever a dude who just he had the way, he had the sense, you know?
I read a betting book once. It was like a cheesy one in the store by some guy. It was
Yeah.
pretty good. And it really
Good.
was just factoring in unbelievable odds. He's like, home teams win 68% of the time in these types of conditions. This is what the data said. This team had this statistics. I level it out, 71% chance of victory. I was like, huh, that's all he was going on. It was just level of the field, time of day, what time of year, this team's trends in the past.
So here's my question. How do you deal with your money? You know what I mean? Like, what are you betting?
He gave
like, what's
that
your
too.
rule?
Like you never should go over 20 or 30%. Like that's the biggest you should bet. Like it was detailed. Nobody would ever follow it because we're too
It's
emotional.
too fun.
It's
too fun just to like let it ride, baby.
Yeah.
Let it ride. Especially on a UFC fight.
What else is going on? Oh yeah. So Masvidal is gonna fight Covington. Set up, brother.
Yeah.
Good to go.
You know, here's my thing. I think Covington's a great fighter. I really do. You know, I think he like it's a shame about Usman, you know, because he's just too good. But I feel like Masvidal, he's just dropped the ball, you know, like he had that incredible Ben Askren like knockout. It's unbelievable. One of the great highlights of all time. It destroyed him. He was out. Ben Askren disappeared.
It totally destroyed that man mentally. Yeah.
Destroyed him. It destroyed him. But honestly, Masvidal is just, I wanted him to be better than he is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you summed it up again. Well said.
Mm.
We all wanted Masvidal to be better than he was. But the truth is, when you look at his record, he wins 2, he loses 1. That's the trend. 2 out of 3. That's his career record. He's tough as fuck. He's hard to knock out.
Good personality. I like
likable.
Him.
Street Judas.
Yeah.
I love that name. But
yeah.
He's not championship material. He came close. He had his shot twice and he couldn't do it. Covington takes him down and beats him up.
Who's is Ferguson still fighting? Tony Ferguson?
Well, you know, there ain't much fight left in him, but yeah, he's trying to schedule a fight. Yeah. Hey, Tony is a fascinating topic because it's tragedy. Well, one, he's fucking a little crazy, so we don't feel that bad for him. But
he's totally crazy.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. He's fucking crazy. But there was 2 or 3 years there where Tony, everybody, well, we're not. He might have beat Khabib. He could have challenged.
That's the thing.
He could have challenged Khabib.
Him and Khabib. It should have happened. That fight was cursed. It tried to happen. Remember, it got canceled 5 times.
It was like the 4th time, and he trips on a cord the day before and tears his ACL. You have to wonder, like, maybe Tony did some very bad juju in a past life because there's something off about him. He's a cursed figure. And then Gaethje, I think he's better than Gaethje, but at that time, Gaethje caught him at the down part of his peak, and Gaethje broke him.
That fight. Sometimes I just watch that fight. Just sometimes, you know, like maybe late at night I can't sleep. I'll watch that Ferguson.
We watched that fight together. It's middle of pandemic in Maui. Me and Dean threw a cookout party, and it's great in Hawaii because the fights come on at like 3 p.m. Yeah, watching this. All our neighbors are there. There's no crowd. We're all high, and you just hear this. You hear this fist hitting this face.
Everybody's like it was the first time the fight that was the first time for me that the UFC like got brutal, man.
It was terrifyingly brutal. Well, the way it ended, it's the 5th round and Tony's broken. and he punches him. He's punching him a thigh. He punches him in the face, and Tony makes this sound like a whimpering dog. He goes, and he just naturally with his head and hands go, no. Like it was totally unconscious.
Yeah.
And the ref's like, stop. And Tony's like, wait, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, you just whimpered like a dog and shook your head no. Like it's over.
It's over.
You're broken.
Yeah.
It was unbelievably the most brutal thing I've ever seen in my life.
We watched a man lose a couple years off his life. Like Justin Gaethje took a couple years off of Ferguson's life.
You know, the peak was before that knee surgery. He was there, and he had one or two fights after where he could sustain, and after that, it's gone.
Such a shame, man. I guess longevity just isn't a thing unless you're Randy Couture. You know, like you got a couple of years, and that's it. You're done.
Isn't that funny how it hits everyone differently? Like some people, you got like a year or two. Some people they hit it late, like Randy, and then you got fucking horrible human beings like LeBron James that can just sustain for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
tragic.
It is tragic. It is tragic. Anything else?
This was a good podcast. No, that's all I got.
Yeah. I guess one last thing. I guess Max Holloway's not fighting.
That's what Cejudo wanted that fight. Yeah.
Yeah. What a shame. Yeah. Okay. We'll end it there then. Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right. See ya.